What's up, guys? Brad here.
Jim Jam here.
11 South Mysteries. We're here again for another installment of 11 South Mysteries.
Yes.
Just recorded one before, so we're wearing the same clothes.
Yep.
Had a snacky snack.
We're back.
Pizza.
Yeah, she brought over the lunch. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, next time I got to provide some lunch then.
We went over Dixie Mafia.
Yes.
Deep dived it. Pretty messed up. Tied in with Buford Pusser.
Yeah, it's crazy how that worked out.
Tennessee Bad.
Found out there's a festival, so we might try to check out sometime.
Yeah, Buford Pusser Festival. Yeah, I might check that out. In July, I believe.
July 15th, I was.
Yeah, July 15th. So we might go to that.
That's after my birthday.
Oh shit.
Yep, July 8th.
I guess we're making a trip.
39 years old.
Old ass.
Real.
Yeah, so we're talking about that. We're gonna talk about like what we're gonna start with. Like I just want to start with a coincidence, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's happening in Ohio right now is there's a train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio, close to Pennsylvania, to where like it's putting toxic fumes in there and people are freaking out.
Sounds like a George Romero movie.
Yeah. So funny story. There's a movie on Netflix right now called White Noise.
Wasn't there a movie before called White Noise too?
It was, but that was about like ghosts. This one's not about ghosts. This is about a train derailment in which gas leaks into the atmosphere and makes people paranoid. Guess where it was recorded? Some of it was recorded in East Palestine, Ohio. A lot of the locals were actually extras in the film.
So it's a comedy drama horror.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Oh, so it has Adam Driver in it.
Yeah.
Don Cheadle.
Yeah.
Don Cheadle.
It has a pretty good cast in it. Definitely, if you're like coincidence, maybe. But like, what's the fucking chances? And it was released last year.
I was reading the synopsis of it.
Yeah, it's about train derailment and cloud. It makes people paranoid, right? That was what I got. I mean, I wouldn't watch it twice, but it's a really okay movie.
You can't hear it if it's everywhere.
Yeah.
But what's the noise? What's the name of it? Dude?
I don't know. I've never made it. They could have called it Dark Cloud, and it would have made more sense than White Noise.
That's why I was like, White Noise. Wasn't that a horror movie back in the day? Well, not back in the day, but in the past. Also, well, I guess we don't want to.
Oh yeah, we got some big things happening. Shout out to our sponsor,
Halloween Hollow.
Halloween Hollow.
Hell yeah!
Halloween fun for everyone. So if you got something you need to do this Halloween season, come out and see them. Great people, great folks, great times.
Starting in the end of September or 1st of October?
September, October area. I haven't seen the calendar yet on it, official calendar.
I'm curious what.
But definitely weekends in October.
Probably 30th because starts on Saturday. And
yeah, probably.
Maybe the 29th to start. I don't know. Yeah. That's just speculation.
Yeah, just keep updated on that. Give a shout out to William Wisp, YouTube gamer.
Appreciate the shout outs on there.
Giving us shout outs. Give him shout outs. Funny guy. Watch his videos. I said in the last video, I was playing Call of Duty with his friends, and I was in there in his live, telling him to shoot him in the dick. He started shooting people in the dick. That's pretty funny. Yeah, definitely give him a shout out. Tell him you heard it. Check him out from us. Yeah, I guess we're ready to deep dive this next one. So be a long one for you. This is an unsolved string of murders, mostly in the South, called the Redhead murders.
So I guess this killer had a thing for redheads.
Yeah, redheads. It's believed to be between 5 to 14 victims, which is a really weird number. Like they don't know exactly how many are attributed to this person. They don't know if it's just one person or multiple people. Yeah, So it's a bunch of unsolved homicides of redhead females in the United States. It's more fun than that. This happened between 1978 and 92.
Oh, there. I was about to say in primary. I guess it is primarily the southern states,
Yeah.
except for Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So, but the crazy thing is, it says from 79 to 92. So, and if they didn't catch the person, did they quit murdering, or did they get killed
I have no idea.
in the process?
So we're going to go through some of these victims. We're going to go through some of the timeline on whenever the first victims were found. Getting conflicted information here. So I'm going to start with the ones that I believe are the same person that committed them.
Yeah.
I don't think that the same person committed all these. This might be some trigger warnings for some of y'all. I'll shout out the trigger warnings. Y'all can skip forward a few seconds so y'all don't have to go through any sexual stuff, anything like that. I know how that can be traumatic.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the murders we're going to go through are all believed to be related and have occurred in states including Tennessee, Arkansas, Kentucky, Mississippi, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia. All right. So they continued until 1992. All right. So, first one I'm going to get into February 13th, 1983. There's two elderly West Virginians driving down Route 250 in Wetzel County. They spot what appears to be a mannequin on the side of the road. What they see is a naked body of a white female. Investigators realize that the body was recently placed there and it died 2 days prior, roughly. Police have two reasons to believe that it was recently placed there. One, snow is present on the ground but not the body. And two, there are tire tracks and footprints visible leaving the body. There was tire tracks and footprints walking away
The
from
reason there's probably not snow on them is because they were warm still and it melted.
Yeah, but the tire tracks and the snow were going away. All right.
So I'm just saying that's the reason why there was no snow on her.
Yeah. So they had all that saying, hey, this murder didn't happen here. Somebody was dropped here. Yeah. So the cause of death was never found by authorities, although they think that she was strangled or suffocated. Nothing indicates that she was sexually assaulted. The female would have been between 35 and 45 years old prior to her death. She was well kept, red hair. So redhead, well kept. All right. Next one, September 16th, 1984. A female with strawberry blonde hair is found laying next to I-40 near West Memphis, Arkansas. She had been strangled to death, and only a sweater was left on her body. Believed to have been murdered while leaving the truck stop, possibly a hitchhiker. Investigation began, but she is not identified till nearly a year later, when a couple in Florida recognized her. They recognized her from living with them the following year, the year prior. So she was living with them, possibly a hitchhiker, recognized the picture. It was identified as 28-year-old Lisa Nichols. Ran off from the family, which led her to being unidentified for 9 months.
So Lisa Nichols was unidentified for 9 months?
Yep. Beautiful woman. Not really red hair, but like dirty blonde.
Strawberry blonde type.
Yeah.
But still, though, in that esque of Redhead. But from looking at the Wikipedia, just the 4 pictures of the people, he's actually, I'm sure you'll talk about this, but there was no matter what age, he killed them all. Yeah. He didn't discriminate against age.
And we're saying he
or they or who.
Look, we don't know the correct pronoun here.
Yes.
On this one, but we're assumptions.
Yeah. They, the murderer, we'll call it the murderer.
Okay. And this is in the 80s, mid-80s.
Yeah.
So, all right. Next one. January 1st, 1985. On New Year's Day, a rapidly decomposing body is found on I-75 near Jellicoe, Tennessee in Campbell County.
Jellicoe.
She is fully clothed with jeans, a shirt, and tan pullover. Freckles and burn marks are visible on her body. She has short red hair similar to the previous victims. Age is between 17 and 25. Some believe 30. Autopsy shows that she was 2 to 5 months pregnant when she was murdered. Cause of death has remained undisclosed on this one. Don't know why, but redhead female.
So that means that whoever the murderer would get double count murder on that because she was pregnant.
I would suppose.
Do you think that's included in that 14 plus?
Yeah. So like we're seeing that in the South, they're starting to see bodies show up on the side of interstates.
So
Which leads me to believe, which I've always believed, that serial killers came to fruition after the interstate system was made.
well, it's easy to get away.
Yeah.
So
You can do a murder in this thing in the next thing an hour.
especially right here. Go into Georgia within 30 minutes. A little part of Georgia.
Yeah. So you can be in a different jurisdiction in no time. In the 80s, they didn't really talk too much.
Oh yeah, because there wasn't, they had maybe radios, but they didn't have the internet and collect calls.
That Campbell County is not identified yet. The last one. So the only one that's been identified is Lisa Nichols at this point.
Okay, in the point of year.
Yeah.
Okay.
So February 24th, 1985, on Route 78 in DeSoto County, Mississippi, a body is discovered, pinkish orange hair. Shoes missing. Killer took them as a trophy, they believe. Tattoos on the ankle. THC and REJ or RET. That's a tattoo on an ankle.
Oh, it's like,
So I'm telling you this, so if anybody's listening
like
and they know a female that went missing around 1985,
yeah,
and had tattoo on the ankle of THC and REJ or RET.
That was the one that's no, it's the badly composing one.
So the hair is red, with streaks of strawberry blonde. Strangulation and possible sexual assault. Let's get this. The autopsy reports that she was a smoker.
So before we go, is this an open case still?
They're all open.
Okay.
So all these cases are still open.
So maybe we should look up like, well, who would someone contact if they had information? Would you contact any of
the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation,
TBI on this one, or all of them?
They all looked them together through TBI.
Okay. So yeah, like he said, if you have any information on any of these,
I got the number at the end.
Okay, he's ahead. I'm sorry.
So the autopsy reports that shows that she is a smoker and bit her nails. Believes that she is connected due to her hair color on this one. But also we've seen a similar MO with strangulation.
Right. Links them together.
It's kind of a link there.
Red hair.
Strangulation. Yeah. Red hair strangulation.
And on the side of the interstate, right?
And on the side of the interstate. This one's really close to home. So March 31st, 1985, in Pleasant View, Tennessee, in Cheatham County. The skeletal remains of a white female is found next to I-24. She is fully clothed, wearing pants, shirt, and underwear, and a sweater. Due to the color of her hair, it is believed that she is another victim. The autopsy shows that she is 31 to 40 years of age.
Well, the picture on Wikipedia, all it shows is a hat she wore.
Yeah, because the rest of it was just decomposed. So they can't get a correct cause of death. They
don't even have identity of her, right?
Mm-hmm. But they believe based on bones, 31 to 40 years. Pretty common occurrence.
So far, we 3 of the pictures right here.
Well, look, you gotta look at the time here. So you got.
So how
2/13/83.
Okay.
9/16/84. 1/1/85.
We're doing
2/24/85. 3/31/85.
It picked up in 85.
Yeah.
So for a while it was just a year apart.
Yeah, they were finding these bodies. Now you got 331.85, and now
But this
the
one's really
ne-
decomposed, right?
the next day.
So
No, this one's not. This is a really weird one.
okay, good.
The next 4185 on Route 25 in Knox County, Kentucky, a body is discovered in an old white Admiral refrigerator from the 1950s, and it has a sticker on it that says "Superwoman." So, Superwoman. It's really just kind of an odd thing to be on an old 1950s refrigerator. Inside, it's a young white female, almost entirely nude, wore yellow and green striped socks. 24 to 35 years old. Cause of death is suffocation and was dead for a few days. Unknown was unknown Jane Doe when they did the funeral, and 500 people showed up.
So they just
Knox County, they showed out. They showed up to her funeral, even though
probably
nobody
just out
knew
of
she went.
respect for them.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
You
So
think this?
here's my thing. Okay, so we have 331.85. We have skeletal remains
So that don't
in
mean that's
Cheatham County
so that skeletal remains. So that
the
means
months before.
yeah.
And then the next day, you have a body in a refrigerator on the side of Route 25 that is only been dead for a few days. Doesn't mean she's been there for a few days. Has only been dead for a few days.
What do you think this person, this murderer, decided to put it in a refrigerator on the side of the road?
It could have been a dumping ground for trash.
Maybe it was already there and they just put them in there.
Maybe.
And that way they could gives them extended period because a lot of people just think, oh, it's just on the side of the road junk. Maybe for like, I don't know if they did pick up like that for appliances back then, but maybe that's what it was. So easier to hide the body and whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, so I'll talk about this, right?
So on the first murder, was it a really bad
No, it was
decomposed?
no.
Oh, okay. So
The only one that's like really decomposed up to
Where's
this point
that?
is Cheatham County.
okay.
It's the skeletal remains. So April 3rd, 2 days later, 1985, a second body is found in Campbell County, Tennessee, and it's found some distance from I-75, believed to be 19 to 15 years old. It's found near a strip mine when someone stumbles upon it 400 yards from Big Wheel Gap Road. And this is out in the boonies. So it's not really on the interstate, but it's still close.
It's a redhead still, right?
Yeah. So all they found, this one is more decomposed in my opinion. All that they found was partial remains, and it was the skull and 31 other bones.
You think that could have got drugged by an animal to that location?
But they are unable to determine the color of her hair. But they still consider it a victim of the same killer.
I don't see it. I'm not a detective or any kind of was that
How many
evidence or whatever.
How many are we going to read? Are in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's victim 7 that I've talked about. This ain't even the start of it. This is in the 80s. It started in the 70s. These are the ones that are closest together. These are the ones I think are the highest chance of being the same person.
Yeah.
And just my opinion.
So the last one, what date was it? 4/3.
4/3/85, 9 to 15-year-old female.
So it's 3-day difference between the finding.
Finding.
Then the next one is further up, right?
They have a fresh one on 4/1. Remains
then bones.
bone 4/3. Okay.
So
this is 8. So April 14th, 1985, a female with brown blonde hair with red highlights is discovered in Greene County, Tennessee. This one is a severe blunt force trauma and stab wound.
Well, that don't fit
the cause of death.
That don't fit the MO though. because he strangles the rest of them or smothers them, right? So he's getting a little violent with the new ones or the other one.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So she was.
Maybe this fighter.
So she was. Autopsy shows that she was 6 to 8 weeks pregnant, but
Oh.
miscarried prior to the murder, and is believed to be 14 to 20 years old at the time of death. And she has fillings in her teeth. That means that she took care of herself.
Dental work.
Had dental work done. So, I mean, they're popping up all over the place. I think that this one's connected with the rest of them for the color of the hair.
Yeah.
And the age. And the fact that she was pregnant. And it could fit into the sex work.
Mm-hmm.
That one. Yeah. And I think she fought back. I think that's why she got stabbed.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking she might have been a fighter.
Yeah.
So, or he got pissed.
Yeah. So 12/16/88, we go on a few years.
So
So
let's say 12 years.
a few years, 12/16/88, December 16th, 1988. Near the border of Alabama in Rising Fawn in Dade County, Georgia. That's it, Dade County, Georgia.
Or
The body is from,
south.
yeah, with red hair. This is kind of like Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee in the corner there. Body is found with red hair, wearing jeans, a pullover, black shoes, and two pieces of jewelry, a gold necklace and a ring that was heart shaped.
Yeah, Alabama, Georgia,
And
so right,
Tennessee.
so right in that area.
Yep.
So that could be close to Chattanooga, huh?
Yep, right there. Dade County. Which is close to I-24.
Yeah.
I-24, I think I-75 goes that way too.
Yeah.
2475 kind of area. Cause of death is strangulation, and they were sexually assaulted. This one is believed to be a runaway or hitchhiker.
How old was?
I didn't get no age on it.
Oh,
So, yeah.
Unidentified.
Yeah.
What if they have feelings though? That's dental work, but it's hard to trace back then.
So other bodies were found in Arkansas, Missouri, Tennessee, Ohio, Texas, North Carolina. But there's many inconsistencies between those causes of death that don't really match.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that they could be linked, some of them, to the same person. Because we're going under the assumption that it's only redheaded people that they go off.
Yeah.
But some of them kept shoes. Shoes were missing. So they kept shoes for trophies, possibly, but not all of them were talking. So it's really inconsistent.
Yeah.
So there's two suspects. Okay, one is a 37-year-old truck driver who attacked and attempted to strangle a woman with red hair. They questioned him about all of these murders.
So they
didn't think that he did it. And the second one is another 37-year-old trucker from Pennsylvania who got caught kidnapping and raping a young woman in Indiana. Both were dismissed from this. So
it does make sense that it would be a truck driver with the traveling of all these states.
So the Campbell County Jane Doe that was found on January 1st, 85 was recently identified as Mary Farmer of Indianapolis. So Campbell County.
What was her
name? Mary Farmer.
Well, that's crazy. Another one on here is
Mary Tina Farmer.
Oh, the same thing?
Yeah. Oh. Mary Farmer of Indianapolis. She was 21 at the time of her death.
Okay.
The case still remains unsolved. But you got the Redhead murder. She also, in 2018, was called the Bible Belt Strangler because of the territory where the bodies were found. Yeah. This is just, 9 or 10 of them?
Mm-hmm.
I think there's more linked. I honestly believe that it's a trucker,
Oh, sure.
and I think that these were runaway females. But on Wikipedia, it has Lisa Nichols, Tina Farmer, Tracy Walker, and S.B. Pigram as victims tied to this. I didn't talk about all of them.
Like I said, on the Cheatham County murder, it just shows a hat and no name because, of course, they
A lot of these are still unidentified, which leads me to believe that they were runaways
probably.
that were at truck stops trying to hitch a ride, maybe in sex work.
Some lot lizards.
Truckers going on trips took them close to interstates.
Oh, the trucker may have gave us some.
And then that person at the strip mine may have been going to the strip mine to get something. May have been a trucker doing that.
Yeah.
You know, like, I honestly think it's a trucker.
Yes. Well, that was really, hell, still to this day, especially with human trafficking and stuff.
Yeah.
So this is just an early kind of, well, not really trafficking because they didn't traffic, they killed them. Trafficking.
Well, and then you got to think, we don't know if this person was dating them. Maybe they, you hear it all the time. Like, some females run off with truckers.
Yeah.
I still hear it today.
Meet them online or something.
Yep. Tracy Walker.
That's scary.
So on April 3rd, I guess they identified her after the information I got.
Skeletonized.
Yeah, the Jellicoe, Tennessee, in Campbell County, near the strip mine, ends up being Tracy Walker. Yeah. She was dead between 1 and 4 years.
Between 9 and 15. Oh, that's young. Didn't even get to have a chance of a life, you know?
Yeah.
Folks out there, y'all keep an eye on your children, especially their well-being, mental well-being, and all that, you know.
That's why. So on August 30th, 2022, she was identified as 15-year-old Tracy Sue Walker out of Lafayette, Indiana. And this is in Campbell County.
So
that's a ways away. Jellicoe County, Jellicoe.
Oh,
The connection was made after Othram Laboratories located a possible family member in the Lafayette area. The TBI intelligence and analysts located several relatives there who confirmed they had a relative who disappeared in 1978. So, they disappeared in 78, found in 85 body, skeletal remains and stuff near a strip mine. You think she was a runaway?
Oh, it does says it. Says Tracy's mother had twice reported her as running away. So yeah, she was for sure running away.
That just tells us DNA is getting somewhere now.
So they're slowly, not solving the case, but identifying some of the women that was murdered.
That's weird. So January 1st, 85, the body of a woman was found in Jellicoe, Tennessee, in Campbell County, an embankment, the south side of I-75. They were in an advanced stage of decomposition. She was killed approximately 72 hours before. The victim was killed with strangulation. She was Caucasian with shoulder length, curly red hair, between the ages of 17 and 25, but possibly as old as 30. The victim was found clothed in a tan pullover shirt and jeans. Additionally, she had been wrapped in a blanket. She was found with seminal fluid on it. I don't trust that. Yeah, because that's off Wikipedia.
Skeeted on it.
Anybody can put that on there. Based on the investigation notes, there wasn't no seminal fluid.
Yeah, because Wikipedia.
But in 2019, that body was identified convicted kidnapper Jerry Leon Johns as the man that killed Tina Marie McKinney Farmer in December 1984. But he died in prison in 2015.
So one of the girls linked to this whole Bible Belt stuff. Is that a cult? Let's tell it the girl. Yeah.
Let's say that. I don't believe that. I don't think that because the timeline doesn't make sense. Because Tina Marie Farmer was killed in December '84, but Johns died in prison in 2015. But they didn't find DNA evidence to tie him to it till after he was dead. Why were they even looking at him? Convicted in '87 of aggravated kidnapping, assault, and other crimes in the attack of a woman in Knox County, Tennessee. 2 months after Farmer's disappearance and death. I don't think.
You said 2019 grand jury in Campbell
Oh
County.
God. The woman that he attacked had been choked with a piece of cloth ripped from her t-shirt, bound, and then left for dead inside of a storm drain under I-40 near Watt Road. Watt, W-A-T-T.
They're on December 18th, 2019, the grand jury in Campbell County, Tennessee, ruled that Johns would have been indicted for murder and Farmer's death if he were still alive.
So
Yeah, that's crazy to think. You know, you go on all these interstates and you go over like a creek.
I want to see what his profession was. My thing is, he got convicted in '87.
What was his name again?
Jerry Leon Johns. He was convicted in '87 for assault and all that with that Linda woman in Knox County, Tennessee.
Can you spell his middle name?
Leon.
Leon Johns.
Mm-hmm.
The trucker who liked redheads.
So he was a trucker.
Mm-hmm.
That fits. But it doesn't fit for all of them.
What did you want to know about him?
Just want to know what his profession was.
Trucker. Is that a scat or like a computer animated?
That's a reconstruction of S.P. Pilgrim prior to identification. Yeah, so the body found on April 1st, '85 in Knox County, Kentucky, alongside Route 25, was the one with suffocation, of course, was identified on October 1st, 2018, when the Knox County Sheriff's Office announced the woman had been identified as S.B. Regina Black Pilgrim of Western North Carolina.
So over where they found her was close to where?
It was sort of, kind of. Is it in Knox County, north of Kentucky? No, no. That's on the other side of Kentucky. For North Carolina.
So how they matched it was DNA between her and her daughter, her grown daughter, who said her mother disappeared when the girl was 6 weeks old.
I wonder how many like cold cases are getting solved from like 23andMe. You know what I'm saying?
The way technology is going, you know.
I mean, everybody's doing that lineage thing, like mouth swabs, see
where
their family's from.
Can't remember.
Doesn't it go in database?
Yeah.
I guess that would help identify.
Yeah, that'd be cool if like.
I'm actually happy that's happening.
Full murders can be, or whatever, can be solved now because people are willingly putting out their DNA.
Yeah.
And they're paying for it.
Well, I will say this. They have not indecisively so they're saying they solved one murder, but the person's dead. Okay. All the other ones have not been solved.
When did the murder stop?
92.
So he died in 2015.
He was in prison in 87. He got convicted in 87. He couldn't have done nothing until 92. That's what makes no sense. Unless they were finding bodies up until 92. And it would make sense they were decomposed.
So when he got convicted after 85, what all the bodies decomposed bodies?
It doesn't say.
So then that would make sense that it would be possibly him that did all these. It's found on
81, 83, DeSoto County, 85, Rowan County, Jane Doe, 87. That's in woman was found on August 29th of 87 in Rowan County, Tennessee. She was estimated to be between 35 and 50 years old and a 5 foot or 5 foot 8 inches in height. That's a big difference. She was naturally blonde hair that had died that was dyed reddish. She had a hysterectomy and a tracheotomy. She had a mole on the left side of her back, and she also had breast implants. Additionally, she had an old gunshot wound to her third thoracic vertebrae with a bullet still lodged in her spine. Authorities determined that the body had been burned and suspect that it was done deliberately to hinder identification efforts. She is believed to have been murdered. It's like Stacy Lynn, like they're putting this one on here, September 16th, 1988, as after he was convicted. A woman was found strangled to death in Rising Fawn, Georgia in late 1988. See, they're over here identifying other murderers, but I don't have any validation of that. That's the thing. Like you can look through Wikipedia for some stuff, but other stuff you can't really trust because everything I found investigation-wise does not show that he was convicted. So it is what it is. So I'm going to move forward with these not being solved. If you have any information that could lead to solving any of these crimes, please contact the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation at 1-800-824-3463. That's 1-800-824-3463. So, the Redhead murders. That's just some of them.
Yeah, there's, like I said, between up to 14 original.
I think there's more. I think the interstate system is a good thing and a bad thing because it makes it so easy to get by with stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like I honestly think there's more than these victims. I don't think this guy had ammo. I don't think that these are only the redhead ones. I think that there's more than just redhead victims.
It's just these.
I think it was a trucker. It was an over-the-road trucker.
What if it was a network trucker?
Now, there was a murder in Lebanon, Tennessee, at the Pilot gas station, in which they found a woman's body in a trash can. And that person ended up getting convicted for multiple murders across the U.S. in 2000 something. I have to look it up. But remember, because I lived like real close to that pilot, and ended up being a trucker that did that a lot of places. And he got convicted for like 3 or 4.
You know, I noticed a lot of, well, not a lot, but I saw like, you know, our town has its own little forum on like a group, and a woman commented about she was getting followed around our local Walmart by somebody like videoing her and her kid. So that is definitely something that is, you know, it's kind of, I guess this would have to do with that kind of like trafficking kind of, especially how it's on the rise now, like human trafficking. Definitely keep an eye on your children and yourself. They got, what are they, people are marking cars now. People come out and they'll find like certain things on like a sticker or something on a car, or notice a sticker or something on their car. So
yeah, I mean the investigation on this says it was believed that most of the victims remain unidentified due to being estranged or not close to existing family members, so runaways.
Mm-hmm.
They also have not been. They also may have been native to the states in which they were found in 1985, not long after the Greene County victim was found. Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Arkansas, and Mississippi requested the Federal Bureau of Investigation for assistance with the cases. There were inconsistencies among some of the victims and characteristics of the crime scenes. That some were found with or without clothing, and some had sexual encounter before the murders. During the conference, it was stated that 4 victims were found in Texas and a victim found in 1981 in Ohio, nicknamed Buckskin Girl, later identified as Marcia King, were ruled out in 1985 as possible victims in the Redhead murders. A possible suspect emerged circa 1985 when a 37-year-old trucker, Jerry Leon Johns, attacked and attempted to strangle a woman with reddish hair. He left the victim lying near a highway, presuming she was dead. He was later dismissed in the Redhead murder case, told you, because he was convicted of a woman's kidnapping in 1987.
Well, why didn't they further look into him?
Well, they dismissed him because the timing didn't happen. Despite his exclusion from the case, it was announced that DNA from Johns was matched to Tina Farmer via CODIS in 2016. He died in prison in 2015 at the age of 67. A grand jury decided that he would have been indicted for the slaying had he been alive. He was a trucker who resided in Cleveland, Tennessee before his arrest. It has not been specified whether he is considered a suspect in other victims of the Redhead murders. Another suspect was a 32-year-old trucker in Pennsylvania who was questioned for kidnapping and raping a young woman in Indiana. She managed to escape before more injury. The suspect was also dismissed from the investigation after being questioned by Tennessee police. I don't think he did it at all, because they keep track of his routes.
Yeah.
Where he's been, all that. Because watch how he got paid when he was a trucker. Right?
Well, it's definitely, like you said, it's definitely a trucker doing it. It has to be.
A trucker or, yeah, it has to be a trucker. I can't think of anybody else that'd be on the highways that much.
What's there? I guess that would be still considered like a trucker, but like an expedite driver.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty.
They're similar, but not the same. It's really.
You know what's crazy though? I've never heard of this until you brought it up.
I've heard about the Cheatham County not being identified for years. I didn't know there were that many connected.
Yeah.
Possibly. I mean, it's all speculation. Yeah, leave a comment what you think transpired.
Who do you think? Not who, but do you think a truck driver or what occupation of a person do you think would have done this?
On a house builder. No, it's just really, really odd. I mean,
but yeah, that was the Redhead murders.
Yep. All around the Bible Belt: Tennessee, Arkansas, Kentucky, Mississippi, Pennsylvania, West Virginia.
Between 78 and 92. Like you said, if you have any information, contact the TBI.
At 1-800-824-3463. That is, again, 1-800-824-3463. Also, if you have any other crime tips that they may need investigation on, help on, be sure to reach out to them. Let's try to find closure for some people.
Good. It's always good to help out people with stuff like this.
Stay vigilant. Lock your windows.
Or these days, definitely.
Yeah, that's all for the Redhead murders that I got.
And if you're in the Ohio area, don't drink the water.
Yeah, and watch White Noise.
Yes.
It's uncanny how spot on it is.
Yeah. You know what's going on this weekend in Ohio?
What's that?
Frogman Festival.
Frogman Festival.
Yeah, I got some friends up there. They got a podcast called On Wednesdays We Talk Weird. They're there right now. So just wanted to shout them out too. I listen to them every week.
Yeah. I think that's it for this one. We'll be back with more.
Yep.
See y'all. Spooky.
See y'all next time.